Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Tommy Ho, Director of Computer Center, to give the opening address.
Thank you very much. First of all, good morning to every one of you. It is good to see many of you here, which I understand today, in fact, quite a number of students, over 100 of them, has registered for this challenge, okay? I was talking to my colleague just now. I think in many occasions, we really would like to engage our users to be able to develop some of the applications for us on campus, okay? I think this challenge started with the idea that, as you know, the mobile devices has been getting very popular today in the market, okay? And we have many form factors, many brands and models, okay? So I guess what we want to do here is that we would like to further promote the usage of the mobile devices on campus, okay? And also beyond campus. So that's why we come up with this idea of having our users to be able to co-develop certain applications together with us. We are also taking this opportunity to impart certain knowledge and skill sets for our users, for students here also, okay? As you know, there are many mobile devices, many platforms, and for example, iOS, Android, and mobile web, and as well as the Windows 7, okay? So all this using different kind of API or software development toolkits, okay? So in this process, we are also trying to arrange training and make available the tools and the software for you to develop the applications on campus, okay? So that's the entire objective of this challenge. And of course, we are also thinking of how do we maintains the momentum in moving forward. Okay, so that's why if you really look at the details of the information put on the website, we also add the components that for the winners, we are also able to attach the offer some kind of work appointments to attach with the mobile teams on campus and work together with us for the next many months to co-develop many other applications. Okay, so today in CIT, Center for Instructional Technologies, as well as libraries and also computer center, we have a mobile team formed. Okay, that team basically will do the development of all the mobile applications on campus. Okay, so we are very pleased to be able to extend this opportunity to work with the mobile team here in NUS for you to work together with us. Okay. So I think what we also would like to see is that after this challenge, basically we will do certain shortlisting and judgment. Okay, we are looking for 4 critical factors in terms of this judgment. Okay, first of all, obviously we wanted to look for some innovative ideas. Okay, that means the originality of the solutions. Okay, and secondly is that we also wanted to see how the interface are being developed. Okay, as you know, today many of the interfaces are pretty intuitive. Okay, I believe very much in a lot of rooms for developments and innovations in terms of the man-machine interface. As you know today, if you go for the iOS, other devices with the touch screen, it's very different from the old days when you have to use the mouse and click. Okay, so there are a lot of rooms for innovations in terms of man-machine interface. That's one area that we would like to judge also. The other area is really the platforms, okay. How the platforms in different devices, example like the iOS and other devices, how all these features are being used in the applications, example like the compass, the touch screen and all this, how all this can be used in the applications. And finally, of course, is how well received are all these applications by our users, inclusive of students also, okay? So it's the more well received and the more well used by the users here, I believe that will be more successful, okay? So that's what I would think is necessary for us to work on in this challenge, okay? So I will leave it to my colleagues to further brief you some of the important dates for this contest, and as well as some of the training schedule that we have arranged for you, okay? And you feel free to raise any questions and interject, and if you have any doubts about this contest. And of course, finally, do have fun and enjoy yourself. And as I know, all the exams are finished, so now you have time to do all this very interesting stuff for us. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tommy Ho. Please join me in welcoming our guest speaker, Mr. Justin Lee from Hackerspace SG. Mr. Justin Lee is a software development consultant for various Microsoft technologies. He has developed applications for several mobile platforms. He is also a Microsoft MVP and the editor of Tech65. He'll be speaking on mobile devices and beyond.
Good morning. How are you guys doing? Great? No, I'm not a student here. Okay. So let's see whether if I can get this working. Okay, my password is something that you guys don't want to know. All right. So today I'm going to talk about mobile devices and what's going to come up later on in the next half of the year or so, or what might be coming up in the near future. Okay. So some of you might be already know what's going on with the mobile space and what might not be going on in the mobile space, but I'm just going to give you just a rough overview of everything in hopefully less than 20 minutes. So I'm Justin Lee, been introduced. So in the beginning of time, okay, this person here, this very handsome guy, is called Martin Cooper. Okay, since you guys are going to do mobile devices and everything, you should know the inventor of all cell phones. So this is where the Motorola Dynatec was first created by Martin Cooper, and he's considered the father of cell phones. He has invented, the big, what do Singaporeans call it? The I don't know if you guys are old enough. The Along handphones, right? The big what do we call it? Water bottle cell phones, right? Yeah. So those were the days where cell phones were huge, right? And huge and big. And now, today, fast forwarding in 30, 40 years later, cell phones has become so small. The way of interacting with cell phones is different now. Instead of physical keyboards, physical touch buttons itself, we have touch devices. And over here, we have the iOS, the Android, and the Windows Phone 7, the three operating systems that you guys will be working on. And it has definitely changed the landscape of mobile computing. Right now, okay, let me just give you a kind of understanding of how much it has come. Okay, now we have operating systems on your mobile phone that you can carry with you, right, at 1 gigahertz, 1.5 gigahertz CPU speed. Imagine this. Okay, just 15 years ago, these were your desktops, not laptops, not even laptops, not even your mobile devices, but these were desktops that we were using, running Windows 3.1, running Windows 95. And that was over 15 years ago. And 15 years later, we have these kind of powerful devices now in our hands. We're carrying it around with us ubiquitously everywhere, using it everywhere. So it has really changed our lives a lot. And of course, recently, just last year itself, we have these two devices that just came out. And of course, this year, by Forbes, they claim that this year will be the year of tablets. Okay? So we have the iPad, the iPad 2, and lots of other Android devices coming up. Like, for example, the Galaxy Tab 10.1, the Zoom, which is available now, and various other devices on the Android platform and other platforms, for example, like the Playbook. And these are devices that gives you a bigger screen, bigger form factor, powerful, yet giving you mobility. This is where mobile devices are going forward. We're not talking about cell phones anymore. We're not talking about mobile phones anymore. We're talking about devices and a whole wide range of devices like these. So what really actually brought forward all this technology? It's not really just the hardware, right? It's not really just the whole touch screen. It's not Apple. Okay, not only Apple. I wouldn't want to say not Apple, but not only Apple that actually made all this happen and accelerated the whole development of mobile devices. We also have something what we call HTML5, the web. Okay, so in recent years, just only the last 1 to 2 years, we have an explosion, or rather 5 years ago, we have an explosion of new browsers coming from Firefox, Chrome, Opera, right? Pushing the boundaries of the web beyond what it was meant to do, which was displaying information. Information has changed into something that's richer, videos, audio, animation, utilizing JavaScript. And with all these browsers that are coming up, or rather have already accelerated the development of matured internet, we see faster and faster web browsers. We see richer and richer websites. And with the agreement, or rather the standardization of HTML, HTML5, which is still in the process of standardization. But, however, a lot of the features of HTML5 has already been settled. Okay? And HTML5 is in all your browsers and also on your phones and mobile devices, giving you rich multi-platform applications, rich media experience everywhere in your mobile devices, in your desktops, everywhere. So this is where HTML5 came up, and brought the industry forward one more step. What are the other things that actually brought the industry one more step to make mobile devices, mobile computing, even better, even much, much more user-friendly in a way? We have these things called identity. So now, in your phone, on your desktops, on your iPad, on your Android, on wherever, right? You can log in, identify yourself as one person, and you have all these seamless services available for you. And that's where I come with cloud services. Cloud services, because mobile phones are limited in storage, not so much in computing power anymore, limited in terms of the, I don't know, what is it limited now? It seems to be a full-fledged computer. However, cloud services bringing all these different kinds of services, for example, your internet messaging, IM, Twitter, Facebook, right? Bringing it to your mobile phones, the ability to have all these services in a small little form factor phone or device. So these are some of the technologies that brought it forward, right? Of course, hardware also, right? Who would have thought we would have these kind of cameras, GPS systems, voice recognition, speech recognition, all this kind of sensors, accelerometer, gyroscope, and all these different kinds of hardware technologies, NFC that's coming up, into our small little devices. With this, right, coupled with the hardware, coupled with the software, and the ability of mobility, possibilities become endless. So these are some of the possibilities, or rather it's already been in the industry, or it's upcoming in the industry. So what exactly is next? Mobile payment, right? So one of the things with that's really slowly picking up, which Google announced last year, or beginning of this year, and going forward, right? How many people know your EZ-Link card, right? EZ-Link card and your Visa and your credit cards and everything. You tap, you pay, you tap, you go to the transport, you tap to purchase something, a service, right? NFC, it's not only about payment. It's also about information, retrieving information. It's also about, for example, maybe in NUS case, a library card, right? To borrow books, to check your account, to do something, right? And there are a lot of other uses for NFC. And NFC is something that is currently in one mobile phone right now, I think. It's in the Nexus S, and it's slowly going to be in more and more devices out there. So this is something that's interesting, that's upcoming, that you guys can make use of, maybe in the future, maybe now, as part of your project or a startup. Another thing that's very interesting, right? I really like this this thing. It's a location-based game, right? Used in a marketing campaign. This is called the Mini Getaway Stock'em. So how this game works is actually utilizing your GPS system on your mobile phone. In this case, it's an iPhone, right? And what you have to do is you have to get near to the person with the mini keyword there, right? DU, it's yourself, and the location of the mini, and get within 5 to 10 meters away in order to grab the Mini Cooper, virtual Mini Cooper, away from the person, and you got to run away. Okay? And this game continued for several days. I think it went on for a week. And the last person who, has the Mini car, right, gets the actual car itself. Right? So these are some of the very interesting uses of a GPS system. Right? Interesting? So, maybe some ideas for your project itself. This is another thing that's very, very interesting, which I really, really like. Right? It's a virtual 3D environment, not using accelerometer, not using gyroscope. However, it's possible to actually add it in to give a little bit more precise viewing, but it's using face tracking recognition. So it tracks your face, the position of your face, in relative to the front-facing camera of your iPad 2, okay, or other Android devices, right? And adjust the space based on the angle of where you're looking at to your iPad 2, which provides a virtual 3D environment without glasses. Who hates the 3D glasses, wearing the 3D glasses and, trying to see 3D on a TV? This is an interesting way of solving that, creating a 3D environment that when you move left, the environment moves left too, to adjust to the viewing angle of where you're looking at. So this is something very, very interesting that a lot of applications can be incorporated into, right? Into your applications, into schools, into e-learning, into something very interesting. And these are all technology that's already available out there. It's just how you're going to use it. Another one, right? This is one of my friend's company and software. Okay, it's an e-learning software utilizing all, or rather majority of the sensors from your devices, right? For example, the gyroscope, the accelerometer, the GPS, the compass, and so on and so forth, to teach, right? And this is only for primary school, right? So it's simple stuff. But it's to teach basic concepts of science, mathematics, you know, and English and whatnot, utilizing the richness of your mobile device and all the senses, enhancing the learning experience, right? It's called Square Crumbs, right? And going forward, you know, they are even thinking about doing virtual reality and also, right, connecting other scientific devices, sensors into it. Okay? I don't know what scientific sensors they can plug it in, but it's all possible. Another one, right, augmented reality. And this is something that I first watched on a Japanese anime, all right? It's called East of Eden. And one of the things that they showcased, which was very, very interesting, was the utilization of recognizing people's faces from a social network, hint, hint, Facebook, and overlaying information, creating databases of information onto a virtual reality, augmented reality, right? So let's say, for example, hypothetically, I have an iPad, with the iPad 2 with a camera. If I just lifted up the iPad in this whole entire room, I'll be able to know every single one of your names, ages, information, email address, cell phone number, anything that can be gotten from the internet, from your Facebook account, anything that's public facing. If you're my friend, it'll be able to tell me if you're my friend or not. Your tree sizes, you know, yeah, okay. And it's able to give me all that information. And this, even though it's in an anime, right, that was back in 2007, it's right now a product called Sekai Camera. It's not up to that standard yet, but it's a first step towards a reality like that, where an augmented reality where all you need to do is just face it up and you'll get aggregated information of that particular object or person. Interesting. And this is all made available, possible, by mobile devices. Who would want to grab a laptop and do that, right? No. A small form factor, iPhone, iPad, Android device, and whatnot. Okay, this is another interesting thing that's slowly upcoming in, hopefully in Singapore, but in the other parts of the world also in the mobile industry. It's called indoor location tracking. One of my clients, as a software consultant, right, is actually doing this. And what they do is they utilize the wireless APNs around the buildings to pinpoint exactly where you are in an exact location. Not a GPS location where, it's roughly, hey, you're around this area within a 1 kilometer radius or a 500-meter radius or 100-meter radius. No, this is very specific. You are at that seat over there, right? Imagine the possibilities of this kind of technology in your mobile phone. Who drives here? I don't know. I hope majority of the people drive here. But let's say, for example, finding a car parking lot, right? You're able to use this kind of system, pinpoint exactly where you are and where the parking lot is, right? Or an available parking lot, and gives you the shortest route. in an indoor location space. Right? So very precise location tracking. Very scary, huh? Imagine where your privacy go to now. And of course, this was just announced in Google I/O. This is the epitome of extensibility. It's called the Open Accessory by Google. Okay? And what this does, it's actually based on Arduino, an external hardware system board, and it allows you to create devices, create anything, right? All the way from turning on and off light bulbs to controlling external scientific calculations and scientific sensors, servos, anything is possible now. And you are able to control it using your Android phone. Imagine the moment you come into a lecture hall, right? Not even touching your phone. Lights turn on, projectors turn on, the AC turns on. Imagine something like that. A future of that sort. Imagine, right? Walking past a signboard, an advertisement. Imagine this. Because Google knows so much about you as an individual, right? Knows your likes, your dislikes. The advertisement board, based on your cell phone, inside your pocket, will change to something, an advert, that you will want to consume, to actually read, right? With this, imagine a world where you can actually control your entire home, all in the comforts of your iPad too. Or in this case, because it's Android, your Motorola Zoom or your Galaxy Tab. So when they announced this, I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. Because an Arduino board is just a hardware extension to connect to practically any device out there, okay? And it's a programmable device where you can actually program some stuff in it, let's say blinking lights or something like that, and interface with your phone to give you the UI and do some interfacing and some I don't know what, right? And it also can be done using USB, wireless, and whatnot. And these are all made possible with this Arduino, with the Open Accessory API, which is coming in a few weeks' time, hopefully by the end of this month or beginning of next month. Okay, it's going to be Gingerbread 2.3 and 2.3.4, and in Honeycomb 3.1 later this year. So these are some of the examples that are available, that might be possible on a mobile device today, in this age, this time. There's definitely going to be more. There are definitely going to be more. This is just a stepping stone of what your mobile device can do. So it's up to you guys to come up with new stuff, right? Interesting stuff. Or maybe utilizing technology like this to come up with brilliant ideas, brilliant usages of these technologies that were once in research institutions like universities and whatnot. Bring it out to the public, commercialize it, and let everyone benefit from it. So go build something awesome for this iCreate Mobility Challenge. And that's it for my presentation. I'm Justin. That's my blog over there. That's my email address if you want to contact me with anything regarding mobile devices, anything technology. All right? And that's basically what I do, lots of stuff. All right, and that's it. That's my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Justin. We shall now invite Mr. Leong Hong Fai from Computer Center to speak on Student Info API.
Is it up? Okay, good morning. Okay, thank you, Justin, for a very interesting overview of the technology. Okay, now we come to the boring part. Okay, this is going to be static. Okay, I hope it won't bore you to death. Okay, I'm Hong Fai. I'm from Computer Center. I'm in charge to provide you with the Student Information API. Okay, hopefully some of you will be working on student-related apps. Okay. Okay. The API only covers area related to student particulars, semester information, timetable, and modules. Okay. Is only accessible through the intranet. Okay. And within the database, we have set up 10 test students info in it. Okay. And it supports the XML, JSON, and YAML data format. Okay. One more thing to note, the information here is not live. Okay. So there will be some problem because I noticed that some of you have requested like things like module registration, whether we can do module registration for modules that's not even have not registered yet. Okay. Those cannot be done. These are information in the past. Okay, it's basically gathered in 2010, 2011 semester 2. Okay, the API for the student particulars, okay, these are the 4. Okay, you retrieve student particulars including name, addresses, and contacts. Okay, it can retrieve student home address, student mailing address for examination results. Okay, and retrieve students' contact numbers. Okay, mainly the home address numbers, the mail address numbers, and the mobile phone. Okay. Semester info. Okay, it only retrieves the semester info based on academic year. That's one. Or it can retrieve based on academic year and semester. Meaning, if you want to retrieve semester info based on 2010, 2011, you will retrieve semester 1, semester 2, maybe 3 and 4, if there exists. Okay, but if you specify academic year and semester, they only get 1 row out of it. Timetable API. Okay, this it can retrieve the master timetable. Okay, this is not the whole of the master timetable. Basically, it only retrieves certain numbers of modules out from whatever we have put inside there. Okay, retrieve the master for a module. You specify a module, you will retrieve those information like laboratory, lectures, tutorials. Okay, it will give you the venue, the class, the start time, the end time as well. Okay, or you can retrieve the student's timetable based on academic year and semester. Meaning, you throw in a metric number, you will just retrieve what are the modules the student is taking in the semester in the academic year. Okay, if the student take 5 modules, all the information will be laid out. Okay. Okay. Or you can retrieve the student module timetable for academic year and semester, meaning based on the student metric number and plus together with a module code, it will also give you that particular timetable as well. Modules API. Okay, this one retrieve the student's list of modules that is already in the database. Let's say for student A, you actually have module A, B, C, and D. Okay, it will retrieve all this for you as well. Okay, you can also retrieve the student list of modules based on academic year semester. Okay, the first one will retrieve whatever is inside there. Maybe the database have 3 years of records, it will retrieve all the 3 years records out for you. If it has only 1 year, it will retrieve 1 year. But for the second one, it will be based on academic year semester. So for 2010, 2011, Sem 2, the student has 3 modules, then only 3 modules will be displayed. Okay. Okay, that's all for my presentation. Okay. Okay. How many have gone in to see this? Okay, some of you have gone in, okay? So, okay, the student information API is inside here. I will be updating this particular track, okay? So you have any question, you can post it on here, and then I'll try to answer you, okay? Beside the current student info API, I'm also working on an API for course, okay? But that's only on big points, okay? And the one I'm having some problem, I need to talk with the course team to get it done as soon as possible for you to use. Okay, but it's very minimum. Okay, I'm not in a position to develop the API for course. Okay, I'm not the expert for that matter. Okay, if you want to do a very intensive application based on course, it's quite difficult at this moment. Okay. Okay. So just now I mentioned about the 10 test student, okay, this is the test student metric numbers that you can use. So for example, let's say I talk about modules, okay. Okay, this home address for student, so I can retrieve it. Okay. Okay, this one is basically retrieving, showing you by default is XML. So you want to change the format to any format that is any supported, like YAML. Okay, you can do that. Okay, then we just retrieve the files. Okay, so this YAML data format return. Show you 2010. Okay, these are the modules that we'll talk about. Okay, so for academic year 2010-2011 semester 1, okay, for this particular student, this is the modules they have. Okay, some of you were asking about timetable. Okay, this is the master timetable available at this for this data set. Okay, these are timetables. Okay, so wait. Oh no. Sorry, my notebook just hang on me. Okay, never mind. Okay, basically the gist is that you have to go through the forum and take a look at the available API that's available at the moment. We only provide the basic one. So if you got any request for any additional API, just put it on the forum and we'll take a look. Whether we can provide is another thing. Okay. Problem is the data set we are getting is we have to request for approval for it. So it might be difficult for us to provide. If there is a easier way to do it, we'll try to provide it for you. Okay, that's all. Any question? Okay. Next. No power. The power is not on. Yeah. Alamak, is disconnected? No wonder. Okay, go to the on. Okay.
Thank you, Hong Fai. Please welcome Mr. Jeffrey Tay from Center for Instructional Technology to speak to you about the IVLE LAPI.
Okay. Okay, good morning everyone. Before I start, can I just check how many of you actually are going to do something related to IVLE? Raise your hands, please. Okay, turn it around. How many of you are not going to do anything about IVLE? Okay. Next question. How many of you actually joined this for the training? To learn about devices, to learn about mobile programming, and also to help to do something. Oh, so most of you actually know about programming. Okay, that's good. Okay, the reason I'm asking is because this is going to be quite a technical session. I'm not going to tell you what in the world is JSON, what is APIs, how to call APIs, and so on. Okay, so I'm going to talk about IVLE, because that's basically my bread and butter. It's NUS e-learning system. It's the one and only thing that you can use and you'll ever use in NUS. For the next few years at least. It's web-based. I know those of you using Androids and iPhones are complaining because it's too small. So now we support iPhone, iPad. Windows Phone, I think there's some issues with crashing. Android, none at the moment. But first things first, thank you for making us the #1 app in iOS. I think it's still the #1 as of now. So how did we actually start all this and this mobile development? Is that we realized that students are, iPhones are getting more popular. So we felt that, okay, now it's time for us to do something. Web-based is definitely not the way to go. So we created something called LAPI, short form for Learning API. Sounds kind of cute also. It's kind of semi-RESTful. So it's not the full REST like what you know of, but There's certain parameters that you have to append behind to get the data that you want. Because it's not a straight, I want to get all my modules and it returns the data. It returns JSON and XML, no YAML at the moment. There is SOAP in the works, which is the WCF service. Okay, how many Windows Phone programmers here? Okay, don't be shy lah. I know there's some lah. Okay, for those of you who are using Windows phones, the last update I heard from Microsoft is that WCF works. So you could essentially use that and you can save a lot more work than what the other two teams would be doing, which is unfortunate for Android and iPhone. Okay, Lapi. This is a nice tiny URL. Just called IBI Lapi. There's no need for you to take photo because this will be on YouTube if you want to. So this URL actually contains all the functions and how to use it. It contains methods to access your commonly used tools. Like for example, your module, your announcement, your work bin, your forum, and so on and so forth. It's a pretty standard API that you can use to get data from the e-learning system. But if everyone is going to do the same thing, I can tell you it's going to be a hard fight for me to decide who's going to be a winner. So please do something more awesome than this. Okay, this is the tricky part. So sorry. Okay, let me say here. This learning API has, like I said, many parameters. So depending on what parameters you put in, the resultant data set can be big and can be small. So some of them, for example, the module API call has two options. One is just to return the basic data, one is to return the full data set. The full data set means you return you exactly what you see on the workspace, plus clicking on everything that's available. So you can expect that to take very long to return and very long for you to pass. Okay, so think about this when you're doing your programming. The more data you request, the longer it takes to return the data, the longer it takes for your program to pass the data, and in a sense, it makes for a worse UI. Because even if it's async, it's still taking too long. This is like the main module. And which basically equals to bad user experience, which is one of the criteria, which means you will lose marks. Okay, so what do you need to get started? You need the API key, which you will receive, and which you will send to you on the 31st of May. We will create trial modules for all of you. So let's say, for example, I think there's an ice cream group somewhere. Okay, so this ice cream group will get, you know, at least a guest account and a module. Then, using this account, you actually get data from the module. You can actually, for example, post forums. You could read announcements. You could download work bin files. All right? And main thing before the 31st of May is for you to look at the APIs, understand the data structure, and plan out what you want to do. Like I said, the main thing of this competition is the idea. So please make sure you plan properly before you start. Because along the way, if you think that certain things don't go that well, you want to change, it may be hard to change. Especially for mobile devices, it's very hard for you to change the code. Okay, mobile web aside, for Android, iOS, and Windows Phone, it's quite hard to change your code halfway to accept certain other parameters. Okay, so now the next question you ask is probably, let's say now I want to do something. Let's say I want to do augmented reality. I want to do the virtual 3D thing that Justin was talking about. But there's no API. How? The preferred method is you can post in the forum, which I think most of you should know. If you all don't know, I'll show you later. Because if you post in the forum, someone would definitely reply to you, and will tell you whether can or cannot be done. If it cannot be done, you can go ahead and hardwire whatever you want to hardwire. If it can be done, and you hardwire, what happens is you don't get the additional points for using the APIs. So, like I said here at the bottom point, if you hard code, it's okay, but you just don't get the points. So this is important because these points count towards your final grade. Okay, not your school grade, but the results grade. Demo. Okay, this demo I'm going to show you, it's not a fully working demo, as in you can't use it on iPad at the moment. But you'll be able to do this on the 31st of May. All right? I'll show you how to do a login, how this whole login sequence works, how to get the module information, and I'll skip the token validation because generally you won't need this. So what happens is when you request for a login, okay, who here doesn't know Facebook? Or knows that? Okay. So if you are not using a Facebook native account, you will know that you have this funny Facebook prompt that asks you to log into a Facebook app. Then you have this little token that is supposedly valid for 14 days. And after 14 days, this token expires. So same thing for here. We implemented more or less the Facebook idea. So you see something like a Facebook login prompt, then you get the data, and so on. All right? Let me just run to the demo. Okay. How many of you here are non-technical? Or technical? Because this is going to be a very boring thing. Okay, so now this is a demo page I have. Looks like Facebook. Okay. So what happens is, this is a plain HTML file backed by jQuery. So when I first go in, I'll check that whether, this user, there's actually the token available on the page. So when there's no token, I'll redirect you to a login page, which looks something like this. So let's say now I log in with my account. Okay, click on login. Okay, this is purely static. So there's no there's no PHP, there's no ESP.NET, whatever thing that's backlight. It's just purely HTML. Of course, you can do the same thing for your mobile devices, just that it won't be like this. Okay. So what happens is, after I get the data, the web page will actually do a redirect to the original URL with the token attached on the query string. So if you notice that this funny thing behind here, this token equals to, this token equals to something. So that's actually your login token. Okay. So with this data token, it tells everyone in the whole wide world that you are who you are. To IBRE only lah. You are free. Okay, you are free to experiment using Facebook and IBRE tie-in. Let's say someone using a Facebook account to log into IBRE. You are free to do that. I'm not stopping you. Just that I'm not going to show you how to do it. Okay. So welcome. That's my name. This is taken from API. And the module information, this module that is actually created by my staff, which is over there at the back. I'll introduce later. Okay, so how actually does this whole thing work is that, okay, when after login, after taking this token, I go and pass it to my API, which looks like this. There we go. There. API/lapi.svc/ let's say for example, I want to get username, it will be username underscore get. Okay, essentially most of our functions is very simple. It's the, let's say the tool underscore the action. Let's say username get modules, modules download, web bin download, and so on. So it's essentially a action target, target action pair. Then you pass in parameters, like for example, I want the JSON output. I pass in my API key. You can try this for the whole of today. It's still valid. Tomorrow it won't be valid. Okay, because it's too bloody obvious. Token is what is passed in by the login. And this additional thing like the duration and so on. You can refer to the how to structure this call in the wiki itself. Then from there, the result just, in this case, is because it's purely a string, it just returns my name. But then moving on, let's say I want to get the module. So this module itself actually returns a whole lot more data than just a string. It returns an object. So you see, it just responds its object. Okay? It's a very simple API call that is not exactly that fantastic. Any questions so far? Everyone is still awake? Okay. I would like to bring this up because this is extremely important to you when you are presenting at the end of your project, at the end of competition. So we're going to judge you on 4 main criteria. Number one, originality. How original is your implementation? That means your product. Is it something totally new like the virtual 3D? Is it something boring like IBRE app? Purely IBRE app. Okay lah, don't like that lah. Okay? So, I mean, if let's say all of you does the same thing, which is like a IBRE app for NUS, you won't expect to get a lot of points on originality. I put it this way. But if let's say you make IBRE app plus some AR, augmented reality, then you get additional points. Okay? Platform. So like Justin mentioned, most of these devices have accelerometer, GPS, sensors, and so on. So the more things you use, the more points you get. Simply put. Okay, interface. People doesn't like a crappy user interface anymore. Okay, the HTML1 interface is out the window, so we need to make it nice and fancy. We don't need to be extremely fancy until it slows down the UI, but make it look nice, at least pleasant and user friendly. The main thing that is important is the X factor. This is what we will also need you to justify when you're presenting. Because when you said, do you remember, this competition is about you creating apps that you think will benefit students. So you need to do some market research on what you think will benefit students. All right? So this X factor is about whether this is a everyday necessity or is something that is a one-off thing or whether students will find it useful. We will probably at the judging round ask you questions on how you come to these numbers. So please do some research on this. Don't anyhow say, okay, I know iVery doesn't have the Android app, I'm going to do one. Now everybody knows, okay, X factor is there because it's not there and everyone needs it. Yes. Okay? But you score low originality. So weigh the pros and cons before you decide what you want to do. That's why I say take these 2 weeks to think about what you want to do and design it properly before you start. Programming isn't the end of the world. All right? It is just a means to an end. It's a means to get your, let's say, your first prize, in this case. Okay, resources. Always go to the main page for what you need. 10URL is there if you want a fancy one. I think my colleagues have emailed you the full link if you want to. Online forums are hosted on iVery. So yes, you need to log in. And no, you cannot get your friends to log in for you to play cheat. You can email support. We don't prefer this because it's usually a one-on-one. We prefer you to post in the form, reply to you, so that everyone can come and share. Okay, you can go to the Apple forums, the Microsoft forums, the Google forums to go and ask for help if you need to. Okay, as a general guideline, in the online forum in iVery, we generally do not answer any technology questions. So don't ask me to, so don't ask the question, how do I console write line in Android? No one's going to reply you. Maybe a student might, but no staff is going to reply you, okay? You can ask me, how should I go about doing augmented reality? Someone might reply you, all right? So no technical questions, please. We don't have technical guys manning the link. Okay, do's and don'ts. Please be creative. We don't want, end of the day, to have 60, 70 iVery apps that, that makes it hard for us to judge. Like I said, important is working idea. You don't need it to be a working product. So if you hard code it along the way, you make it only work for the account, it's fine. Of course, if you get it to work for any account in the whole wide world, for all the student community, of course you get bonus points. Okay? These bonus points do mean a lot. They cover about 20% or so. So if, let's say, you don't fulfill those 5, these 20 points do make a lot of difference. Make sure you understand the judging criteria. And make sure that the presentation covers all of those criteria. By hook or by crook, you have to cover all 4 criteria somehow. Okay? If you don't cover, you don't understand, means we mark you down. It's as simple as that. It's still not too late. If you find that you are a one-man team, you want to find 3 more to go, please go ahead. We will just stop it on the 31st of May, because that's when the thing starts. All right? Don'ts. Remember you signed the AUP when you first joined US? This AUP is an all-encompassing paper that says you're not supposed to do certain things in NUS. All right? So these certain things include stealing of code, bluffing, doing social engineering to get their product, to get their software, doing DDoS attack on iVery servers, for example. Okay? Trying to hack the API for some reason to give you more data that you're not supposed to take. Because end of the day, this API is public data. It is what the students have. Trying to somehow do a man in the middle and sniff someone's token and use it in iVery somehow is a no-go. Okay? If you find things like this happening, number 1, we will disqualify you from the competition. Number 2, you'll be reported to the police. Number 3, I don't know what the police will do to you. Okay? Worst case scenario, you'll be kicked out of the school because it happened before. So please do not try your luck on these type of things. Okay, before the Q&A, I'm going to run through the website to make sure everyone understands what's happening. First, before we continue on the Q&A. Still early, right? Yeah, okay. So everyone knows that this is by students for students. Okay, you're doing something for the student community to make everyone's life a little bit easier in NUS. Prices? Eh? Oh yeah, okay. So for Android, Dell is subject to change. It's basically an Android tablet plus $2,000 cash. I'll skip the second and third because I think nobody's interested in this. iPhone, iPad is iPad 2 plus $2,000 cash. Mobile web Windows Phone is basically a netbook plus $2,000 cash. So, okay, one thing to note is you have one guy, you just get one iPad 2, for example. You get 4 guys, you get 4 iPad 2s. Of course, these 4 guys must do something lah. Please don't have 4 people just for placeholders, please. Okay? Of course, the winning teams would have an option to be attached to NUS as a kind of internship for 1 year. For those that's graduating, how many of you are graduating? 1, okay, good. CIT is offering a position in IVRE. So if you're interested, send a resume to me. Hey, HAVT is only for NUS students. So I said it's for NUS students. Okay, important is you must do something that is different from what we have already done. Different meaning you cannot duplicate the whole thing wholesale, the interface, the basic interface lah. So let's say we have IVRE iPhone app. Don't take the whole iPhone app interface, copy exactly as is and submit it to us. We'll fail you on the spot because it's exactly what you have done. Alright? You can make it look nicer, you can make it more user-friendly, that's fine. That's okay. Just don't copy wholesale and return it back to us. Okay? Registration will close by today. So you have friends that is interested, I think they can still join. Correct? Yeah, they can still join today. Okay, TNC. IVRE mobile apps, you can go to this website to do the things. The API is there. That's the full link if you want to. Just remember this website. This is the main thing that you have. For student return and geolocation, they will not be providing any more APIs. Yeah, whatever is there. If it's not there, you have to hard code it yourself. For IVRE, if it's not there, there's still a chance that it will be there. Alright? Depending on how many people want it, of course. We're not going to especially do an API just for you. I'll put it this way. If let's say you have 10 teams running it, we will consider putting that in. Okay? If it's just you, say you go ahead and hard code it first. Windows Phone 7, good thing about Windows Phone 7 is because we have Microsoft backing, you guys get a free token to the marketplace. So you can, after this, you can actually go and create your own apps and sell. Right? Training, we are providing Android, iOS, and Windows Phone. For those that selected mobile web and training, that was a no-go, sorry. So there's no mobile web training for you guys, alright? You're on your own. So for Android training is next Monday, whole day. iOS is next Wednesday, I think. It's on 25th, next Wednesday, half day. And Windows Phone is on Friday, half day as well. So please take note of where, if you sign up, please take note where you're supposed to go and please be there because all these are catered for. If you don't go, it's a waste of resource. Okay, important dates, today's the kickoff. I am still within time, interesting. Okay, this is the all-important day, 17th of July. You have to submit your code by the 17th of July 2359. Okay? If you do not submit by then, and don't give me the excuse that your time is different from my server time. Okay? I'm using IVRE, so please, so whoever has used IVRE before will know that there's a clock there. So use that clock. Okay? Don't submit at the last minute and say something goes wrong. Any late submissions will be looked at on a case-by-case basis. Okay? We may or may not, depending on how it goes. So please don't last minute and submit. And please expect that IRAS, this thing will be down probably when you're going to go in and submit. So please do it before that. It shouldn't, but just in case. Okay? After you submitted application, we will actually send you an email or something to tell you that please book your presentation time slot. So certain days will be available for you to book a certain time slot. So first come, first serve. Then during this presentation, there will be a panel of judges that will judge you on those 4 criteria that I spoke about. All right? So that's why I said it's important to make sure that you cover these 4. So if you don't cover, you only have 20 minutes, so you don't have much time to talk and drag and be long-winded. So please make it short and sweet. This 4 is there. Okay, you have the option to not use the actual APIs. You can Jolly well hardcode everything. I'm not stopping you from doing that. So, but the thing is, if you hardcode everything versus someone that didn't hardcode and use the actual APIs, this someone else will actually have more points. Okay, that's the difference. You can hardcode, you can Jolly well hardcode everything. It doesn't matter. But it's just that you get lesser points, which means that you have a lesser chance of getting the first prize. But you can still get second and third. Okay. One important thing to note is that we are going American Idol, so your friends can SMS their votes in. Meaning you can psycho your friends to say, hey, please come vote for me. But they don't need to pay the full 20 cents to listen, just pay the normal SMS charge. Alright? So let's say someone say, let's say Android is called A1. Please SMS A1 to this number. So then it counts as your vote. We leave it up to you how you psycho your friends to vote. We are not going to restrict it to NUS students. As of now. Yes?
So is it possible to lower the weightage of the SMS voting? Because it's highly possible that SMS voting might outweigh the 60%. It is very highly possible, given the fact that all of us here are programmers, right? Some people can do automated SMS voting. It is not.
Okay. Wait. A few things to note here. One SMS number can only have 1 vote. Okay? It must be a valid SMS number. One SMS can have 1 vote for each category. So all 4 categories, that means let's say now you SMS, you can only have 1 for iOS, 1 for Android, 1 for Windows Phone, 1 for mobile. So even if you send 1,000 of them, right, it's still considered 1. Alright? We only accept local numbers. So if you get friends overseas and you see overseas number 2, but it's not going to be valid. If you go and smoke a funny number for me somewhere or another, it's not going to be count. Because we will check against Singtel, StarHub, and M1 database. Alright? So, but you can get your family, your akong, ama, and whoever to vote. That is up to you. That's why the thing is the 60% is by the judges. Okay? Because we do know your mobile numbers, so we can actually cross-tally between how many actually of you are students and how many are actually non-students. So we have not said whether how we're going to distribute the 40% between these 2 as yet. Alright? So there's still certain things that I never say lah. But don't worry, we will make sure that the non-NUS students will not outweigh the NUS students. Okay? Okay, so categories for Android, minimum 1.6. You can say that you want an app to run on a 2.0 or 2.1. We won't restrict that. But then the same thing applies. If let's say we have exactly the same app, this guy may work for 2 and above, one guy may work for 1.6 and above. The 1.6 one will win. We'll have more points. Alright? iPhone, iPad is iOS 4 and above. There's no need to cater for 3. If you do it for 3, that is good for you. Okay, mobile web. This is important. It must run on the stock browsers. Stock browsers, okay? Not any for Android, because you can download all these. Stock browsers of Android, iOS, and Windows Phone. We do have all 3 devices on stock, so we will try it out ourselves. Alright? So don't tell me that it works on your phone, it doesn't work on my phone. Because we do have all 3 stocks. If you work for BlackBerry, that's good. We are trying to secure BlackBerry, so as of now, no BlackBerry phone. Let me see, BlackBerry. Okay, let's keep BlackBerry because it's different technologies, if I'm not wrong. But if you make it work, then you get additional points. It must be written in this 5, HTML5, preferred, ESP.NET, or Java. You do have to hold this locally on your machine, your laptop, server, cloud, whatsoever. But it's your own resource. We will not provide any of this as of now. Okay. Thing to note: no PHP, no Ruby, PHP. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. a bit of amendments here. You can do anything you want. Sorry, yeah? It's not just these 5. You can. So the server backend can be anything you want. It can be PHP, can be Ruby, can be Perl, CGI, if you want to Code Fusion. All right? You're not restricted on backend, but you hold your own server. Windows Phone must run on a Windows Phone 7 device, a non-jailbroken Windows Phone 7 device for them. Oh, same for all 3. All 3 devices must be non-jailbroken, non-root, and I don't know what you call that for Windows Phone. Okay, must run on the official version, not the broken version. Must be a native app, and it must be preferably fully working and doesn't crash. Okay, last thing, we reserve the right to change anything we want anytime. Okay? Any questions so far? Okay. Anything that you want to ask? Okay, for those that want to do IVR API and you all have things that you want to ask, my team members are actually behind. If you all don't mind turning around, exercise your neck a bit. Okay, Jin Jie is the one standing there. The one in the middle is not IVR one. Miu Ching, one over. Yasmin, and Hai Xing. So during the lunch break, if you have anything you want to ask, you are free to go in there and ask them. You can ask me as well. If you need to email me, my email address is extremely simple. You can never forget it. And I can't find my pen ultimate. Where are you? Okay. If you are really desperate and you can't figure out what you want to do or you need, don't come to me for counseling. You need some help on this thing. You can email me at t@nus.edu.sg. Wait. Okay, this guy doesn't like this. Okay, never mind. Okay, good. Oops, sorry. Okay, you weren't supposed to see that. Okay, t@nus.edu.sg. Please try not to spam my email. Thank you. Okay? You can't forget this email one. I can guarantee you. So if there's anything that you really desperately need to ask, you can email to me. But otherwise, I think we can lunch. You want? Okay, my director wants to speak. Most of them are doing. That's why I can do other things. Okay, like my director said, please try something different and not so boring. Okay? We have a whole bunch of IVA apps, so there's only so much IVA app. I mean, there's only so many IVA apps there can be. There's only one. Nowadays, there can only be one Android IVA app. There can only be one iPhone app and iPhone IVA app. So if you want to go that route, be prepared that you might not be that one of them. All right? If you try something different, you have a chance to be that other app that is in the whole collection of NUS apps. Oh yeah. Forgot to talk about recognition. So let's say now you win or you don't win for that matter, it doesn't matter. But if you like your code and we actually use it in an official app, meaning it's branded under NUS, we will give you recognition. We will say that is, code comes from so and so, from which year, which faculty, and so on, if you want us to be that detailed. But we'll definitely put your name there. You want us to put a Facebook link there, is okay with us as well. Okay? You want us to put whatever thing there, you can put. Just make sure that that thing is there for life. Because we will probably not change this thing that often. Unless we hire you back to change. Alright? So, takeaway is, this is a competition for you guys to make life easier for the rest of NUS communities. Number 2, it's a chance for you to, in a sense, show off that you have done something big, something different that no one else has done. I can guarantee you there's no NTU students, SMU students that can do this. Right? They will definitely not have their name on any app that's done by the official university. I can guarantee you that. So it's something different that you guys have. Third, this experience, I guess, will probably bring you on later on to, if you want, we can link out your enterprise to have your own incubation center, your own startup, if you want to. We would definitely showcase you guys, if you want us to Apple, Android, Google, and so on, Microsoft, and say that, you guys are promising individuals, and maybe they should look out for you guys. All right? We're not going to just keep you within NUS. We're going to make sure that you guys are known to the world, at least Singapore lah. Okay? At least Singapore. The world will be hard, but at least Singapore. Okay? With that, I think I should end and let us have a Q&A for 10 minutes while the food gets set up, hopefully. All right? Okay.
Thank you, Jeffrey. We'll now open the floor for questions. If you have any questions or doubts about the competition, you may raise them with the iCreate organizers who are here today. Is there any questions? Yes. Sorry, can you just repeat your question again?
Okay. Expert. You got someone asking how to find geolo data. Okay, where to locate the geolo coordinates? Geolo.
Okay, I take the question is asking how to find the geo-coordinates if given a place, right? I don't have a machine here.
You want
You?
iPad?
iPad, I'm not sure whether...
You want desktop lah. See, this is what Justin meant. Last time I used to bring a laptop with me. Now I just need to bring this guy. I don't need to bring anything anymore already. You want desktop? Yes.
Browser, I need browser.
Browser only? Browser or you want a full desktop? 选择你要什么 ？Browser full desktop。
Browser，它可以 project 吗？
可以。
OK。不用吗？Okay, let me try. I've not done this for quite some time. Not yet.
While he's setting up Geolo, any other questions? Yes. As long as you don't steal, you can back borrow, I don't care. But of course, open source is better lah. You can share if you want to as well. Any other questions?
Can you make use of third-party apps in our own app? Linking our app to third-party apps, like some, let's say, Notepad or something. Our app.
Can. So you're doing for which?
Android.
Okay. Because I was thinking, how you going to link between the Android and the for system. But like I said, please do not use a root device and say you want a root, then when you have non-root, it doesn't work. That's the important point that I want to make, that you know. Because our students definitely will not be rooting. Yes?
Regarding the requirement for native Android, can I have like certain services that's
Cloud-based, based on the internet one.
Yeah.
You're using which category? Android. Yeah, okay, you can, but just don't be like the SG Hub part one where he basically have an app that opens the URL. Okay, that means you can pull data. You can pull data, okay? But you don't have an app. All this app does is it opens the web browser that goes to a specific URL. I don't want this type of app.
It's not. It's a native app, but you can actually, let's say, post a server for service.
Okay. Find server, okay. Yeah. But you have to find the server yourself.
Okay.
want to pull. Okay, so in your case, let's say after you want to sell this product, you can please go ahead. Alright? So maybe one thing I want to share is that, okay, we say there very clearly that the code belongs to anywhere. The reason why this thing is there is because in the AUP, it says that whatever you've done in NUS belongs to anywhere. Right? But the IP, if I'm not wrong, belongs to you guys under the recent amendment. So you can still use the idea and go and resell it if you want to. We're not stopping you from doing a paid IBI app, for example, okay? You can jolly well go and go App Store and create a paid IBI app. Who will go and pay for app? That one I don't know. Right? If it's good enough, we might even buy it over from you and make it free. Okay? So the opportunities are there. It's just how you want to make use of it to your advantage. This is just a platform for you guys. Alright? Okay, so flash already.
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions? Our timetable are still setting up, so we have to sit in here for a few more minutes. Please let's make it a bit more interesting. Anything? Who wants to do that virtual 3D thing? I will get Justin to help you out.
Try.
Okay, just since no one wants to ask any question, let me ask a question. How many of you are not from SOC? Wow. Okay, reverse. How many of you are from SOC? Oh, like, how about? How many of you are from, I don't know, obscure one like laws? Medicine? Doctors? Anyone? 20? Businessman? Businessman. Okay, you're Jolo. Wow.
Okay, ready?
Okay, yes. Please.
Okay, how do you get the coordinates? You can go to this website called godare.sg. Right? Let's start from this. Give me some time, Okay, if you are interested in the latitude and longitude, what you can do is, let's say you pick a building, okay, and click what's here. What is showing up on the text box here, the 1.34 blah blah blah, 103, that's the latitude and the longitude. Okay?
There is a map on NUS website, so and all the list of all the main buildings on the left side there. So I thought NUS should have responding database kind of.
The database, you all want the database or? Okay, we are still. Is it ready? I know.
You are saying that from the NUS map, we already have collated a set of coordinates, right? This part we actually are clearing with our leader to see how we can distribute that. Look out in the forums. I think in the forums we will put all our web services, APIs. We also will put a set of data once we have created. So by when, when's the date? When's the deadline for all the APIs? The 31st of this month, we should be all there. If not, then we'll pose the questions if our leaders are not comfortable. But manually, you could go by this way to collate all those coordinates.
Actually, we also don't have. We don't have.
Maybe one thing I like to know, my machine can share. So maybe for those who want to do Jolo apps, right, come together, maybe each person do a certain faculty, you have to pull data set. Can share, okay? Because we don't really have all data all the time. So if you want to do it, we welcome you to, share. Every take one faculty, you won't take the log anyway. Just go there and customer file. Okay? That's the other way to use the forum, if you want to.
Just to clarify, although we have a list of locations in our NUS map on the website, but the website we don't have the coordinates as well. I believe these coordinates are useful to you when you do geolocation apps. And even if we have, our list may not be complete enough. There are certain places where you will still want to know what's the coordinate, and this is the way to get it. Okay? I think this is more valuable for you to find out what's the latitude and longitude. Okay?
One thing that whoever doing geolo might have forgotten, you can get the lat long, but you cannot get the height. Meaning, I can tell you where is LT27. I can tell you where is seminar room 15. But I cannot tell you which floor is seminar room 15. And so for those that didn't tell this, you may need to think about this. It's only that point, not where in that floor or where in the building you are. Geolo doesn't work when you're inside the building. Okay, we have 10 more minutes to go. Okay, so someone's going to do geolo. Is anyone going to do AR? No? Is anyone going to do iCreate yet? Wow, on already? Ready? Okay, final call. Any more questions? If not, I'll still hold you all here for 10 minutes while the food gets catered up. No, you can go already. The food is still being set up. So the toilet is somewhere out there if you need to go. so I don't know where the toilet is. It's somewhere on that side from what my colleagues say. So if you need to go to the toilet, it's that way. Otherwise, just hang around. The food is outside there setting up. Right? For those that have used IVLE API in their Bendelong's class, it's purely for Bendelong's class, we will take a close note at what you have done. All right? If we find that you have repeated exactly the same thing, we are not going to accept what you have done in Bendelong's class in the competition. Because you did sign something that says you won't do this. All right? And for everyone else, this will be on YouTube. So you are free to share the link if you want to. If you guys want to tweet about it, hopefully, let's go for NUS iCreate. All right? With that, I think we can end it off. Thank you for coming. Please enjoy yourself.
Just stay on for a few minutes while the food is being stacked up. The restroom is just on your left, if I'm not mistaken.